evening, ladies and gentlemen. Over 150 lives have been lost in Manipur in unabated violence that has continued for close to 4 months now. Heart-wrenching testimonies of survivors and their kin suggest the state government has had little or no control over the armed mobs and arsonists who have unleashed wave after wave of strikes. But the forum at which this issue should be debated is in a state of stalemate. It is ironical that the opposition wants us to believe that its heart is bleeding for Manipur, but still refusing to hold the government to account on the floor of the House on some pretext or the other. The insistence on the Prime Minister's statement to start the debate has been branded as a diversionary tactic by the BJP. Leading the BJP's charge in Parliament was none other than Home Minister Amit Shah, who panned the opposition led by the Congress party, claiming it is only interested in making political capital over Manipur's pain. He asserted that the opposition was running away from a meaningful debate in the House. Listen in to Home Minister Amit Shah.
चर्चा के लिए तैयार हूं। मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि विपक्ष को चर्चा करने देना नहीं चाहता। मेरा विपक्ष के नेता को आग्रह है कि चर्चा होने दे और इस महत्वपूर्ण मसले पर पूरे देश के सामने सच्चाई जाए, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
The opposition is only asking one question: what's stopping Prime Minister Modi from addressing the parliament and assuring the nation? It accuses the BJP of whataboutery to paper over governance failure in Manipur. Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh was even suspended from the upper house for the rest of the session for unruly behavior. Listen into that.
आसमान तो नहीं फट जाएगी, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं मांग रहे हैं हम लोग। मणिपुर की आज की जो गंभीर हालात है, इसके मद्देनजर प्रधानमंत्री जी आप सदन में आके बयान देते हुए ये चर्चा शुरू करें।
देखिए, देश के प्रधानमंत्री सदन में आके मणिपुर की हिंसा पे जवाब क्यों नहीं दे रहे हैं? एक कारगिल के योद्धा की पत्नी को नंगा करके परेड कराया गया है। इतनी शर्मनाक घटना है।
मणिपुर में जो हुआ है पूरा विश्व देख रहा है और मोदी जी आप विश्व के नेता मानते हैं आपको।
The BJP, however, maintained that Amit Shah's statement is enough since he is the minister in charge of law and order, and the opposition should not run away from dialogue. Listen in to the BJP's countercharge.
Amit Shah ji has repeatedly said that in both houses of parliament, he as Minister in charge of Home Affairs would like to bring certain facts to light. What is shocking is the insistence of the opposition parties to not allow facts to come to the fore.
And that brings me to the legitimate question on the news hour tonight. Has politics betrayed Manipur? That's the question and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate tonight, Locket Chatterjee, Member of Parliament representing the BJP, Sushmita Dev, Member of Parliament and spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Also joining me tonight, Sanjay Jha, author and suspended Congress leader, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator, also joining me on the show. My first question to Sushmita Dev, Member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress. And Sushmita Dev, what is preventing the opposition from beginning the debate in Parliament? After all, it is a debate that you wanted. And a debate is what the government is willing to give you. The Home Minister is all set to speak on the subject, answer all questions. What is holding you back?
First of all, no one is running away from a debate. Contrary to all the narrative that's been put out by the various ministers of the government of India, we have invoked a certain provision under the rules of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and we are requesting that the Prime Minister must participate in the debate. So to keep asking us that why are we not debating is putting out the wrong message in the public domain. We are ready to debate, but we think it is a matter that requires Prime Minister's intervention in either the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, wherever he chooses. And I think that's what we owe to the people of Manipur. Please understand, in a situation where the gravity of it is so big, where so many killings have happened, and till today there is a curfew in Manipur, and the situation is far from normal. The entire nation is looking at Manipur. We see no reason why the Prime Minister is shying away from the debate. He's the Prime Minister of the people. He's elected. He represents the country. People of Manipur have given the BJP 2 governments twice. So why is the Prime Minister shying away? And we will not move away from that demand that the Prime Minister should be in Parliament and the Prime Minister should himself debate this matter. That's all we are demanding. Why is the government running away from that?
Locket Chatterjee, when Sushmita Dev says this, आपको लगता है they are setting up conditions, because law and order is something that the Home Minister is responsible for, and he is prepared to respond to all the questions and make a statement? Or do you think there is a case made out by the opposition for the Prime Minister to speak? Or are we going to see more log jams on just this issue itself? Home Minister, Prime Minister, Prime Minister, Home Minister, and there is no meeting ground between the opposition and the BJP?
पहले तो मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि मणिपुर का जो घटना घटी है वो बहुत ही हृदय का व्यथित करने वाला वीडियो है। बहुत ही मतलब वो देखने वाला नहीं है। एज ए फीमेल मैं बोल रही हूँ, लेकिन कांग्रेस लोग, टीएमसी जो विपक्ष लोग हैं, मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ये लोग क्या चाहते हैं। पहले तो बोला चर्चा चाहते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद आके बोला, वक्तव्य दिया, हम लोग चाहते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद बोल रहे कि चर्चा प्रधानमंत्री जी को करना पड़ेगा, चर्चा 176 में होगा, कोई विपक्ष बोल रहा है 276 में होगा, राज्यसभा में कोई सभापति जो है कांग्रेस का वो बोल रहे कि 176 में राजी हो गया, लेकिन बाकी लोग राजी नहीं है। तो मतलब एक्चुअल क्या चर्चा करना चाहते हैं वो लोग, और हो सकता है कि इसको लेके राजनीति करे। हम लोग भी चाहते हैं कि मणिपुर के लिए चर्चा हो जाए, और पश्चिम बंगाल से सुष्मिता जी है, टीएमसी से, हम लोग चाहते हैं सुष्मिता जी, आप सब जानते हैं कि पश्चिम बंगाल के लिए भी चर्चा हो जाए, जहां पे लगातार संतराश हो रहा है। हाँ, बोल सकते हैं मणिपुर का जो भयावह वीडियो सामने आए हैं, पश्चिम बंगाल का वीडियो आए हैं, लेकिन इतना भयावह नहीं है, आप बोल सकते हैं। इसका मतलब नहीं है कि पश्चिम बंगाल बहुत शांति है, महिला के लिए बहुत सुरक्षित है। तो हम भी चाहते हैं,
लेकिन लॉकेट चैटर्जी मैम, ये पश्चिम बंगाल का मुद्दा पहले से चल रहा है, वहां पे पंचायत चुनाव के समय से चल रहा है। जब आप इसको मणिपुर के मुद्दे से मिलाते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं क्या आप मणिपुर के मुद्दे पे डिबेट से भाग रहे हैं? यह सवाल तो देश की जनता भी उठाएगी ना।
हम मणिपुर के लिए मणिपुर के लिए चर्चा चाहते हैं, जो विषय अभी चल रहा है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ पश्चिम बंगाल के लिए भी चर्चा चाहते हैं। क्यों हमारे पश्चिम बंगाल का महिला नहीं है, देश के बाहर है। हम लोग चाहते हैं राजस्थान में जो घटना घटी है कुछ दिन पहले, जो बच्चे के साथ महिला को जला दिया, उसके लिए भी चर्चा हो जाए। हम चाहते हैं कि छत्तीसगढ़ में कुछ दिन पहले जो विवश करके महिला को, आदिवासी महिला को घुमाया, वो भी जो वीडियो सामने है, उसके लिए भी चर्चा हो जाए। तो सब जगह में देश का बेटी है, महिला लोग सब एक है, सबके लिए चर्चा होना चाहिए, हम लोगों को लगता है। लेकिन बार बार ये लोग, विपक्ष लोग क्यों बार बार मणिपुर के लिए बोल रहे हैं? क्योंकि मणिपुर में बीजेपी का सरकार है, राजस्थान में कांग्रेस का सरकार है, इसलिए नहीं बोलेंगे। टीएमसी का सरकार है पश्चिम बंगाल में, इसलिए नहीं बोलेंगे क्योंकि राजस्थान, टीएमसी सरकार, कांग्रेस सरकार सब एक साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, इंडिया के गठबंधन में है, इसलिए एक दूसरे के ऊपर कोई दोषारोप नहीं करेंगे, इसलिए सिर्फ बीजेपी के ऊपर बोलेंगे।
सुष्मिता देव, रिस्पॉन्ड, बिकॉज पार्लियामेंट सेशन जब शुरू हुआ है, पार्लियामेंट में तो बंगाल राजस्थान नहीं डिबेट हुआ, तो मणिपुर पर जरूर कीजिए, पहले कीजिए डिबेट, पर बाकी डिबेट्स पर भी मान जाइए। शायद यही मिडिल रोड होगा बिटवीन ऑपोजिशन एंड द ट्रेजरी बेंचेस टू एटलीस्ट फिक्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी फॉर crimes against women. Are crimes against women now being politicized? That is the question that will also be asked.
Navika, you have been covering Manipur yourself on your channel. Now tell me something. Can you today reduce the crisis in Manipur to a women's security issue alone? There is no doubt that the first video that came out of Manipur, because as you know, internet is not functional there from 3rd of May, showed two naked women who had been taken hostage by a group of people, and one of them was gang raped. But what is happening? We saw a social crime happen. But what is happening in Manipur is ethnic cleansing. What is happening in Manipur is not restricted to crimes against women. It is two communities who are heavily weaponized. And let me tell you that the Honorable Member of Parliament of BJP has not been to Manipur, but I have. There are thousands of people in relief camp. The state is totally divided in the center between two communities. It is connected to ethnic cleansing. It is connected to many other political issues. And the second and the most pertinent question, Navika ji, I would like to ask the Honorable Member of Parliament of BJP. I was just going through her timeline. They are so concerned about women's security and they want to debate it in Parliament. Did you see a single member of Parliament of the BJP talk about the sexual harassment of the women wrestlers? Please look at her timeline today on Twitter, not a single tweet. You know, this is hypocrisy. They have been exposed so badly on women's security when it came to the women wrestlers that not only the Honorable Lady MP who is today debating for the BJP, but even the Women and Child Development Minister who is constantly doing press meets now, after the video came out of Manipur, remain mum. Isn't that enough evidence to your viewers that this is nothing but a diversionary tactic?
नहीं, पर लॉकेट चैटर्जी मैं हिस्टोरिक एविडेंस उठाना चाहती हूँ। बीजेपी ने 2013 में निर्भया रेप केस के बाद एक स्पेशल सेशन ऑफ पार्लियामेंट मांगा था। 2013 में सीज फायर वायलेशंस बाय पाकिस्तान हुई थी। आपने मनमोहन सिंह तब के प्रधानमंत्री का स्टेटमेंट मांगा था और मनमोहन सिंह जी ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया भी था। अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ पीजे थॉमस एट सीवीसी, जून 12 में कोल स्कैम, 13 में मिसिंग कोल ब्लॉक फाइल्स। तो कई बार बीजेपी जब ऑपोजिशन में थी तो उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री का स्टेटमेंट मांगा था। ऑपोजिशन अब दूसरी पार्टियों की है, वो भी वही मांग रहे हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी पहला दिन ही उनका वक्तव्य दे दिया है, बहुत अच्छे से बोले हैं। नारी का सम्मान होना चाहिए और हर राज्यों में जहां पे कानून व्यवस्था थोड़ा सा वीक है उसको और भी स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए, स्पेशली फॉर वुमेन। मैं सुष्मिता जी, आप मणिपुर गए हैं, आप मणिपुर का सिचुएशन देखे हैं, लेकिन आप जरूर बंगाल में गए हैं। अब बंगाल में आज कल भी मुर्शिदाबाद में एक महिला सिर्फ इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट को सपोर्ट दे रहे थे, इसलिए उसको मारा, उसको रेप किया, उसके बाद विवस्त्र करके आप शायद अधीर चौधरी जी को आप पूछ लेना कि मुर्शिदाबाद में महिला के ऊपर कल क्या घटना घटी है। बीरभूम में बोलिए, साइथिया में बोलिए, एक 62 इयर्स ओल्ड लेडी के ऊपर बलात्कार करके उसको हत्या किया। एक 20 इयर्स लड़की को गैंगरेप करके उसको हत्या किया, क्योंकि लेकिन उनको वीडियो सामने नहीं आया, इसलिए हम लोग उसको डिटेलिंग में नहीं बोल पा रहे। लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि महिला के ऊपर अत्याचार पश्चिम बंगाल में नहीं होते हैं। भयंकर भयंकर सिचुएशन, इंसिडेंट पश्चिम बंगाल में है। कुछ दिन पहले का बात है, अप्रैल 22 कालियागंज में, मालदा के कालियागंज में एक राजवंशी आदिवासी लड़की को गैंग रेप करके उसको हत्या कर दिया था और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पुलिस लोग उसको खींच के लेके जा रहा था। उसका वीडियो सिर्फ आया था, गैंग रेप का वीडियो नहीं आया था, हत्या का वीडियो नहीं आया था, लेकिन उसका वीडियो आया था, सबके सामने आया था, वायरल हुआ था। लेकिन अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। उसका तो 4 महीना पार हो चुके हैं, तो आप इसके ऊपर क्या बोलेंगे?
Dr. Sanjay Jha, the way people of India are looking at this, Manipur, very important. Of course, answers should be sought and accountability should be fixed. There is no rocket science. There is no debate on that. Definitely, there should be a statement. But not one tweet of outrage when such events happen in states that are ruled by opposition parties. And I don't want to compare the two. It must be Manipur first. But at least at some point, some outrage should be expressed about other incidents as well. I'm not making a corollary out of the two. Manipur first. But if you're going to set conditions in the manner as if you're dictating terms, do you think there is going to be a breakthrough? And that's the question we want to ask. Should the country not hear what happened in Manipur because there is an ego clash on both sides?
Oh, well, Navika, I think this is a very relevant and a very serious debate. Now, we are talking about not just women's security, we are talking about the humiliation of women, whether it's in Manipur or different parts of the country, whether ruled by the BJP or non-BJP states. The fundamental point is this, and this is what I think all of us should pay attention to. What kind of a democracy have we become? That when Manipur is burning, even as we talk, there is a lot of tension and communal strife between the ethnic communities. We have seen the horrific video. What is the debate we are making? Should the Prime Minister speak or not speak? And I ask myself a question as an ordinary citizen of India, why shouldn't the Prime Minister speak? Who is he? I mean, this is the job of a Prime Minister. You know, you had a very significant channel of Indian broadcasting. If there's a problem, good, bad, tough topic, you are here every day at 9 o'clock taking the bull by the horns. You don't know what your panelist is going to tell you. You don't know how hot the debate is. You come and do your job. I'm trying to do my job. Narendra Modi's job, by the way, that's the job that he's supposed to do. His job is to heal Manipur. His job is to engage with people in Manipur, talk to the opposition, talk to the media, talk to everybody concerned. The very fact that we have reduced our democracy to the extent Narendra Modi spoke, so what? Did he do me a favor or what? I mean, Narendra Modi is silent for 78 days. He speaks for 36 seconds, and we're like, Narendra Modi spoke. He's not doing anybody a favor.
But then the counter question can be asked on how many times Mr. Rahul Gandhi has raised issues about what happens in Rajasthan, what happens in Bengal. That's a counter question that can be asked of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Secondly, you can't set a precondition for whatever you want. Of course I come here. I come here of my free will, and I will negotiate this debate in the manner that I deem fit. And I will, of course, be answerable to my panelists here. But you can't set preconditions on what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say, how I'm going to say. Isn't that the point, Dr. Anand Ranganathan? Is the opposition wanting to pre-decide who will say, when he will say, what he will say, and then they will decide whether it's, up their street, up their alley or not, when they have maintained a stoic silence when issues like this have cropped up in their state. Again, I completely put a disclaimer that I'm not comparing Manipur with the rest. But Manipur is far more serious, and I have no problem in admitting that. But it is a more complex problem. What about other states?
Good evening, Navika. Good evening to your my fellow panelists. There are 3 or 4 issues I'd like to elaborate on. It's a very important debate, and thank you for holding it. Number one, there is absolutely no question that what happened in Manipur was horrific and barbaric, and head should roll for what happened. And it is not just a crime against women that should be talked about. It should be the inaction of the state machinery, including the police force, for 70 days. So for 77 days, 77 odd days, they did not apprehend the perpetrator. But once the viral video came out, within 24 hours, the person was arrested. That shows the extent to which the state is prepared to not act on things. So I have 3 or 4 questions. Number one, absolutely there should be a debate on Manipur. Absolutely. And I've said this before, that I did not like, and I, like Sanjay Jha and like others on this panel, would have always wanted the Prime Minister to speak. I still don't understand why he didn't speak when he talks about, rightly so, a lot of other calamities and catastrophes that happen all around India, including rail accidents or road accidents where people are killed. Why has he maintained a silence on something as serious as Manipur? So yes, I agree there. But then when you talk about outrage, you must also expose the hypocrisy of the opposition about selective outrage, because when it comes to crime against women, it's not just the crimes are happening against women. As I said, this is not a case of picking up some instance in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh where crime against women has happened. It is to talk about instances where state and police have refused to act on such crimes. And there are numerous crimes. And there one is justified in asking, when you're outraging so much about Manipur, why were you silent about, for example, a crime that happened in Gurdaspur in Punjab with the AAP government is there. 13-year-old kid was gang raped. The police refused to act for 6 months. They let the perpetrator flee. Is that not something that we should be worried about? When at the time of Hathras rape accident in Rajasthan, a Dalit woman, because of police inaction, when she was gang raped, she jumped into a well. The police still refused to act. The father hung himself from a tree. Can the Chief Justice look at that father in his eyes? He can't, because that father is dead. Is that not something that we should outrage about? So yes, number one, Manipur should be talked about. Number two, the opposition must be held to account for its selective outrage. And number three, very sincerely I say, the response of the opposition immediately is whataboutery. Well, whataboutery exposes your hypocrisy. Because when you talk about, Navika, on this channel, you've talked about the freebies that our government has given. The panelists who are sitting right now with me immediately say, what about the freebies that Modi has given? When you talk about the opposition abusing Modi using cuss words, the panelists out here say, what about the cuss words used by Modi? When you talk about namaz being on the roads, the opposition, what about Jagrata or RSS shakas on the road? So there is a legitimate reason for whataboutery to happen, provided you condemn every action. Finally, I'd like to say, very humbly, you have on this panel Ms. Sushmita De. At the aftermath of the Bengal elections in May 2021, she was the first one, and my respects to her, along with Sanjay Jha, criticized the TMC for the barbaric post-poll violence. Is she still going to accuse the TMC? No, because she's in the TMC. And finally, for Locket, ma'am, when she says that, yes, talk about Manipur, but talk also about Bengal violence, I like to ask her, for the discussion on Manipur, notice has been given to the Speaker, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Has the BJP or any MP given a notice to the Speaker to talk about Bengal or Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan?
Many questions, and let me toss all of these questions. Sushmita Dev, respond. Whataboutery is not called whataboutery when it comes from the opposition, but when it comes from the treasury benches, it becomes whataboutery. Double standards there as well?
Not true, Navika. While the panchayat elections of Bengal were going on, every TV channel debated what was happening there, and the government of the day in Bengal welcomed the central forces from coming there. The question is, the delegation of the BJP MPs who went to Bengal only went after Manipur became an issue. I'm telling, there has not been a single moment where either Sanjay Jha or I have said that if there is a crime against women anywhere in the country, nobody supports it. But I want to ask Honorable MP from BJP, she says in 22nd April something happened in Bengal, but please note the timing. BJP has brought this up after they came under fire for Manipur. So if you are accusing us of selective rage, I can accuse the BJP of selecting the timing when it suits them.
Respond,
Just
Locket
believe
Chatterjee.
me. And right now, Navika, let me tell you something. You want to debate, 1 second, you want to debate crime against women, doesn't matter which state, please do it. But to stand up in parliament and say, that no, we are not going to debate in Manipur till you debate Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Bengal is, I think, a wrong message to the people of Manipur. I appreciate the fact that you said that they are not corollaries of each other, and let's not treat it that way.
Locket Chatterjee, my only humble request to you is, why are you prevaricating? Manipur deserves a response. Why don't you first do that? And in the meanwhile, as Dr. Anand Ranganathan says, put in notices for discussions on Bengal, Rajasthan, and hopefully all of these debates will also be held. But why are you prevaricating on Manipur first? That's the question.
Exactly, I agree.
सुष्मिता जी, मैं सबसे पहले तो आपने जो बोला कि बंगाल के लिए हम ऑलरेडी नोटिस दे चुके हैं कि बंगाल के लिए भी सदन में चर्चा हो जाए, मणिपुर फर्स्ट, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ बंगाल के भी चर्चा होने के लिए हम लोग नोटिस दिए हैं.
When was the notice given?
लेकिन मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है पहले कि गृह मंत्री, होम मिनिस्टर जी आज दोनों सदन में चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन बार बार जब सदन शुरू हो रहा है तब विपक्ष का लोग आके विरोध कर रहे हैं, 1 मिनट के बाद सदन एडजर्न हो रहा है. ये क्यों हो रहा है? और सेकंड थिंग, आपने पंचायत चुनाव देखा, इस टाइम में देखा, पोस्टपोल वायलेंस 2021 के बाद 3 लाख के आसपास लोग, उसके साथ 1 लाख महिला उनमें थे, पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल से बाहर चल गए थे बच्चे को लेकर. उसके ऊपर बहुत सारा मतलब पूरा देश में चर्चा हुआ, लेकिन उसके लिए अभी तक जो
आप मणिपुर पे थोड़ा बोलिए ना, आप थोड़ा मणिपुर पे बोलिए.
लेकिन लॉकेट चैटर्जी, बहुत से लोग मणिपुर से भी आसाम चले गए, मिजोरम चले गए, उस पर भी तो जवाब होना चाहिए. एंड डॉक्टर संजय झा, I am on the point that if the opposition is so sensitive towards the crimes against women, I want to ask you how many top leaders have actually tweeted on what has happened in Rajasthan, and I'm talking about not when Manipur was the issue of discussion. I'm asking before, after, last 2 years, now when the post-poll violence took place. How many people have tweeted and said that, this is also not acceptable? Why?
Navika, when we talk of states, then I think why stop at Rajasthan incident or Chhattisgarh or for that matter West Bengal? Let's talk about Uttar Pradesh. Let's talk about Madhya Pradesh. Let's talk about Gujarat. So it becomes a very...
Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi went to Hathras, no? Why don't they go to Rajasthan?
Navika, this is my point. We have a serious problem. We have a serious problem when it comes to the abuse of women through the hands of callous politicians in our country, whether directly or indirectly. And this is the problem. The problem is we are doing exactly what the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court had to mention. I think that's what prompted Mr. Narendra Modi to speak up. When the Supreme Court Chief Justice, Mr. Chandrachud, mentioned stop using women as a weapon during a communal strife.
When he speaks, motives will be attributed to him. When, you don't know whether he will speak during the debate or not, but you will set preconditions. But when nobody speaks from your party on issues that happen in Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan or other states ruled by the Congress party, including Punjab, as pointed out by Anand Ranganathan, then, we all become philosophical about it and make philosophical points. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, is that not
true? Just 5 seconds.
No, just one point.
You are wrong there, Navika. Navika, you are wrong there when you say... Okay, Sanjay.
Just one point, Anand. Just one point.
Please carry on.
The BJP-led delegations from Manipur went and waited to meet the Prime Minister Narendra Modi before he flew off to America and Egypt. They waited for 5 days between June 15 to 20. I want to ask every citizen of this country watching your highly respected and popular program, any one of us, if we were a Prime Minister, would we say no to meeting people from a state which was burning, where rapes were happening, murders were happening?
Running out of time, yes. 30 seconds, Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, very quickly, very quickly. Yeah, thank you. Navika, 2 points. Sanjay was accusing others of whataboutery, but the moment you talked about Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, he said, what about Uttar Pradesh? Second point, Navika, can I please gently castigate you? Because when you say that nobody from the Congress has talked about the crimes happening in Rajasthan, you're absolutely wrong, because a minister in the Rajasthan government talked about the crimes against women happening there. Within hours, he was suspended. This is democracy in Rajasthan. This is Congress's version of democracy. Within hours.
Absolutely. Stand corrected on that one, Anand Ranganathan. But Sushmita Dev, I want to ask you, many meetings, many parleys of the opposition. What is the objective? Do you want a debate on Manipur? Do you want to listen to the Home Minister, who's directly responsible for the situation and responding to the situation in Manipur in Parliament? Or will you continue to hold that ego battle inside Parliament?
First of all, nobody has said that the Home Minister of India should not participate in the debate. He is most welcome. This is the very Home Minister who went to Manipur and spent 3 days and nothing came out of it. All we are asking is, there's a constitutional crisis in Manipur. The Chief Minister of Manipur is at the receiving end from all factions. I've heard it with my own ears and seen it with my own eyes. So all we are saying is, this is a situation of a gravity that it requires the Prime Minister to speak on it. Just a radio and a TV sound bite is
not
unfair
enough.
and injustice to the people of Manipur.
Chatterjee, for the last comment, but I want to play out. Our reporter Tejashri, who's been camping in Manipur, has sent in dispatches where firing still going on. Even our reporter was caught in the crossfire, and she had to take shelter in a bunker of the CRPF. That is the situation as we speak over the weekend in Manipur. And when our reporter confronted the Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh, let's just listen into what he had to say. And he's the man who's the head of an ineffective administration, guilty of dereliction of duty in the face of unimaginable injustice. His discomfort at taking hard questions was evident today. Take a look.
Sir, after 75 days, why the accused was not arrested is the question being raised. सबको पकड़ लिया है सर. अपोजिशन सवाल उठा रहा है इस्तीफे पर, इस पे क्या कहना चाहेंगे सर? डू यू थिंक दैट ऑथोरिटीज आर इनकॉम्पिटेंट? हाउ वुड यू रिस्पॉन्ड टू इट सर? डू यू थिंक दैट स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन शुड बी टेकन सर? So do you think that strict action should be taken again? Do you think what are the loopholes if the actions are not being taken? आपको क्या लग रहा है सर, क्यों इतना विलंब हो रहा है? मैडम अपोजिशन, हाँ सर. बीरेन जी, विपक्ष बार बार आपके इस्तीफे की मांग कर रहा है, इस पे आप क्या जवाब देना चाहेंगे? So how would you respond to the opposition raising again and again questions for the? Let him speak. He's speaking. Please let him respond. The nation wants to listen to him too. The nation wants to listen to him. Please let him respond. Sir, he's speaking. Manipur is burning, sir. Why the situation is not changing? How would you respond to it, sir? Madam, please. What is the reason, sir? Center has deployed its forces. State has also deployed its forces, but still, why no action has been taken, Biren sir? Madam, please.
Didi, kalke debate hobe parliamente. Will you sack the Chief Minister of Manipur?
हम लोग हमेशा चाहते हैं पार्लियामेंट में, सदन में, दोनों सदन में मणिपुर के लिए चर्चा हो जाए, लेकिन विपक्ष को थोड़ा सा हाथ जोड़ के बोल रही हूं, आप भाग ना जाए, आप नियम का चक्कर में भाग ना जाए. हम लोग चाहते हैं नियम को छोड़ के सिर्फ महिला के बारे में, देश के बेटी के बारे में, मणिपुर के बारे में, बंगाल के बारे में, राजस्थान के बारे में चर्चा हो जाए.
Can I give one fact?
I'm completely out of time. 5 seconds.
To say after that.
In the year 2021,
Navika, in the year 2021, Prime Minister came to Parliament for only 4 hours.
Well. Ladies and gentlemen, the country is waiting for facts on Manipur. They're waiting to hear the Home Minister. They're waiting to know who's being held accountable. But in the meanwhile, there is a logjam. Will this logjam be broken tomorrow? Well, we can only keep our fingers crossed. Thank you to my panelists for joining me on Debate 1.